What should realtors have with them at all times?
One of these. That's clear.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear, the camera's here.
Another update?
Yeah.
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. Something badass too. So I was the other day I was getting trimmed up to kind of clean this mess up and look a little not presentable, because I'll never look presentable, but I just wanted to look a little bit better to the best of my ability. So I go and I had to wait. It was like a good hour and a half before I could get in for my appointment, which is fine. We all deal with that. So I stop over at Dick's and I go upstairs because there's of course shit that I want to buy that I'm not going to buy, but I want to buy. Like, I don't know, canoes and more camping shit, because I'm going to do all kinds of fun stuff eventually. But I strolled on over to my old playing days, and I'm looking at baseball bats and mitts and stuff, and I'm picking them up and I'm just holding them in my hands, and I just had this epiphany. One of my good friends that I used to work with, he plays in a fast pitch men's baseball league. So I gave him a shout as I'm leaving Dick's, walking up to get my haircut and whatever. And apparently, I don't know how well this will work out. I still got to get medically cleared to play. But apparently there's 3 teams out there right now that between now and the end of the season, they need players to play. So I'm going to go play some baseball, I hope. How good am I going to be? It's been a long time, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the opportunity to go play again. I've missed that a lot. So in terms of surgery, all the weird stuff that's taped on you afterwards, the sutures or whatever, they all fell off, and I don't really have any residual pain of any kind. I'm just waiting for them to clear me so I can get back to working out. So that really helps my mental big time. And I used to not be the biggest believer in that, because I'd go work out, have anxiety, have issues, and you start pushing past it. And I literally started out maybe working out 15-20 minutes. I'd get dizzy, lightheaded, feel like shit, and just want to run out of the gym. And now I can work out for an hour plus and feel fucking great. That first 30 minutes, if I go in angry at the world or emotionally unstable up here, and I hate using the word emotionally unstable as a man, because as men we're not supposed to have emotions, right? We're supposed to be emotionless fucking creatures that don't have real problems, or at least problems that we talk about, because fuck men, right? So when I get in there, if I have a bad day, that first 30 minutes, I'm still not necessarily pissed off, but sometimes pissed off. And I swear I get to minute 35 as I'm working out, and shit just it's fucking gone. And then I just enjoy the rest of my workout. It's beautiful. And then I leave almost done. I don't know what a runner's high feels like, because I think running for fun is fucking weird, but I do get this kind of a high in a way, a really good feeling. So yeah, just waiting to get medically cleared, but otherwise I feel good after surgery now. Dream item that I would buy for myself. Honestly, I'm really not super materialistic when it comes down to it. But if there was a dream item that I had that I would like to have, I would say a house on some acreage in the woods in the middle of nowhere, where I could let my dog run, play, and go out, shoot my fucking guns, and nobody gives a shit. And just have that peace that I think I've been searching for a really long time. Because I was talking to my brother about this the other night. When he's been sober now for 12 years. I've been sober for over 5. Him and I talk about this frequently. There's this weird hole, this void that you feel. And I can't figure out what the fuck it is. I don't know what it is. And I don't know if that's just that peace that I'm looking for, that happiness that I'm looking for, because money doesn't bring it. Money hasn't brought it. I've made tons of fucking money. I've spent way too much fucking money. I have great friends in this business that have done everything the right way, and I know I alluded to this in one of the podcasts. I don't know if it was episode 1 or 2. Don't fucking follow what I've done. I know how to help you sell real estate, but do not follow what I've done as far as other shit is concerned. Don't follow Larry. Larry's a fuck up. But money has never brought me any real happiness. It allows me to buy things. It allows me to buy others things. And the chase for it fucking sucks. So I'm looking for something tangible. And I think that that's going to come from experiences. So it's not so much of an item that I can buy. Because fuck that, I could buy all kinds of shit by making a lot of money, and it brings you happiness for a few minutes, and that's about it, in my opinion, or at least in my life. So I think what I'm really looking for is life experiences at this point. So if I could buy that, then that's what I would buy. Life experiences, not material shit. Honestly, I wish for them the same thing that I wish for myself, which is happiness and peace and the ability to enjoy their lives. And they deserve that. They've worked hard to get the house that they purchased, or the land that they've purchased, or whatever it is. That's a stepping stone in the right direction for whatever they're chasing. I want them to be happy and successful and prosper, and if there was something that I would want for them, that I'd want to be able to provide for them, I just want to be able to work for them every single time they need something. So if they own one house and they want to get to a point where they're outgrowing that house and they want to rent that one out and buy something else and start capitalizing and building wealth through owning additional properties, I want them to have that if that's their goal. If their goal is to live here for a little while and then sell that and do something else, then so be it. But the thing is each one of them is different, and their goals and their life are very different from client to client. So I just want them to have what they are working hard for, whatever that is. And I don't always know what that is. Now, if you were to say, what about so-and-so client? I could probably tell you what it is that they want. But say, for example, the last conversation I had with them was a year ago. Maybe what they wanted a year ago versus now is different. So that's a very difficult question to answer. So I could stay with the blanket answer of I just want them happy with whatever it is that they're looking for. Whatever brings them peace, whatever brings them happiness. And hopefully this recession that we're in doesn't bring them down. Hopefully I'm not getting a call from them saying, hey, we're in a fucked situation, I need you to dump our house. I don't want that for any of them.
Okay.
Any of them.
Yes. What's the
That's a difficult question to answer, because we have this entity in this country that likes to manipulate shit. And they like to fuck with shit, and they like to toy with people. They really want to destroy the middle class. They've been trying to do that shit for the last, 80 years? So I thought, and naively I thought this, and I've told this to many people, that we cannot have a real estate market crash. I really believed that, because I thought that it would be extremely detrimental to the rest of this country. Yet the Fed manipulating what they're doing right now and artificially slowing the market down because people are panicking shows me that they don't give a fuck what they do to who and when. So if they stop toying with shit and they allow the market to settle back into, hey, 5% is acceptable, 6% is okay, and people are able to get comfortable with that again, and allow that correction to take place over time instead of just fucking slamming it in their fucking faces like they have, then I think we can ease our way through this. Because you've had 2 years of ridiculously low interest rates that we'll likely never see again. So anybody waiting for rates to go back down or prices to drop dramatically, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I think prices are going to stay relatively stagnant. They'll come down some, I think, but are they going to get much lower? Are we going to see the $400,000 house drop to $300,000? I don't think so. Are we going to see the $500,000 house drop to $350,000? I don't think so. Are you going to get your dream house castle like you used to be able to get back in 2015, 16, and 17 for $325,000 to $350,000? I don't think so. I don't think those days are ever coming back. Is affordable housing going to be there? Fuck, it's not affordable now. If you've lived in Colorado your entire life, you can't afford to live here. Inflation has superseded or surpassed wages. Shit, wages haven't kept up for the last 8 years, 10 years. So if you've been a Colorado native and say you're working a career making $20, $30 an hour, you can't fucking afford to purchase a house in this market right now. Especially if you didn't do everything perfectly. Say you have 2 car notes, and those car notes are, let's say they're $1,000 a month, and then you have credit cards, and then you have kids, and you have back to school shit. You can't afford to go out and buy a $500,000 house. A lot of houses are being bought by transplants. So 1 to 5 years, I think we're going to see growth. We're still going to see growth. Colorado's still more affordable than fucking California. Still more affordable than fucking New York. And who the fuck wants to live in Illinois? That shithole. I could say that, I lived there. Yeah, so, but it, I don't see the market collapsing. I do see it having issues. And the buyers in this market right now should be able to win because now you can get closing costs, now you can get things fixed. So if you are an agent out there right now focusing only on listings, I think you're gonna fail. I think any agent that's out there only focusing on listings, I think they're gonna fucking fail. That's just my personal opinion, I could be wrong. And you know, everybody's got opinions, right?
Yep.
So, I had a listing that should have been mine that I do believe was haunted. Won't give the address, I won't give the circumstance. I do believe that it was haunted because I saw some shit that I could not explain. And maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me. But there's some people that may watch this that are like, no, Larry, you probably did see some shit. And then there's others that are going to be like, Larry, you're a fucking weird son of a bitch, alien conspiracy, fucking whatever. Well, I ended up not getting this listing. The person who did end up getting this listing ended up actually passing away while this house was under contract. So, I don't fucking know. But I do know I had a fucking weird feeling about it. I didn't end up getting the listing. Something was off about it. There was a little bit of disappointment at the time when I didn't get it. But It was weird. It was weird. Circumstances all the way around it in its entirety were super weird. And the agent that did end up getting the listing, God rest his soul, he passed away while it was under contract. It closed. I could pull it up. I could tell you what it sold for. I could tell you the agent who sold it. I'm not gonna do that, but that shit to me was haunted.
So what advice would you give to or what would you say to a new realtor?
You better walk through with sage and a fucking cat. Shit. And I say cat because I think, and this might be old information, but I believe in Russia, before somebody goes and purchases a home or actually moves into the house, they run a cat through the entire house. And the cat will go through and apparently get all of those evil spirits, if any, out of the house. So when the cat goes in and comes back out, that's when the people will enter the house. So I'm sure there's a fact check somewhere that will prove or disprove what I just said. So it could be a wives' tale, it could be some shit that I just randomly heard, but I think there's some credibility to that. So, I don't know, get some sage, bring a cat, let the fucking cat run through. If you see some weird shit, have your gun on you, and I don't know, major pain that shit and shoot up the closet.
Times.
One of these. That's clear.
What else?
What else?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you should have a real estate license. But, you know, you should have a real estate license, obviously. You should have one of these because, yes, I'm a bigger dude, but a lot of the people that we meet, we've never met before. We have no idea what they're capable of. There was just somebody in the news posing as an agent, stealing shit from open houses. And you have to have a sense of awareness. You have to kind of read the client, and you have to also have you have to keep like a defensive posture within a house, no matter who you're with. So let the buyer enter each room first. Always have a way to exit. Okay, in case somebody tries to attack you. Because even though it's rare, it can happen, and I don't want it happening to any of my agents or any fellow agent in this business. And I would encourage taking classes, or at least getting out shooting, getting familiar. Because people are fucking stupid.
Self-defense.
Absolutely. But I'm not talking about like jiu-jitsu and kung fu and shit like that. You know, just have the situational awareness to if somebody is going to try it with you. God, bro. Even I muted my shit. No, I'm fucking with you, dude. I don't care, bro. No, you just have to have a little bit of a situational awareness, and you know what you want with you. Aside from this, I mean, this is a defense item. This is to protect yourself. You should have a sheet that you can give to your client explaining what the house is. You should have some knowledge of the home prior to showing it. So that's what you want to have. You want to have some knowledge of the home prior to showing it. You should probably know the area, have an idea maybe of the schools. I don't usually pay attention to all the schools because there's so fucking many of them in this town. It's ridiculous. I've had clients that are like, what school's over here? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You know how many schools there are around here? There's a million of them. Where I grew up, there was like 5. So, but have an information sheet, be aware of what you're showing, have an idea. You should know relatively what the square footage is. You should know what the HOA is. You should know if there's covenants. You should know if there's restrictions, so on and so forth. Have your phone on you. If you're meeting a client for the first time, I would say, hey, look, let somebody know where you're headed. Just in case you're worried, because not everybody is comfortable carrying something like that. So, because not everybody believes in this. So if you don't believe in that, I don't know, bear mace. I've been hit with fucking bear mace unintentionally because somebody turned on a furnace and some idiot had fucking bear mace that exploded in their furnace. Like, who the fuck has bear mace in your mech room? Well, it was enough to like burn my nose and give me this weird cough for like a week. Now, I didn't get sprayed directly in the face, but I mean, I would say just be cautious. Just be cautious. The world we live in is weird. It's not the same as when I grew up. So, I don't know. You should have a car. I hope. But what should I have with you? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's fine.
Your wit.
What's your message for the week?
My message for the week?
Just in closing.
Go out and try to suck less than everybody else. Just go out and continue to be great. I mean, everybody has the capacity to be amazing. You have to really want it, though. I can't force you to be amazing. I can't force you to be amazing. You either want it or you don't. You either have a drive, a purpose greater than yourself, whatever that is. I don't care if it's a dog, a kid. Just have that drive and you'll succeed. And that's not just real estate, that's anything. Jordan Peterson says it great. Have a purpose, have a schedule. Wake up at the same time every day. Your mind has this, what's it called, a circadian rhythm? Is that what it's called? I think it's circadian rhythm. When your body is in that rhythm, it flows better, apparently. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychologist. Apparently, it works better when you have a schedule and a routine. Right now, my routine is a little disrupted because I can't go to the gym. And I don't like that. But get a routine that works for you. And run with it. And everybody has the capacity to be able to be great. It's just whether or not they want to risk being great or being comfortable. And comfort comes in many different levels. You could be rich and comfortable, you could be poor and comfortable. What was the movie Office Space? Where he was like, what the fuck did he say? It was hilarious. He goes, yeah, man, what did he say? I want to have enough money to where I don't have to do shit and, bang bitches or whatever the hell it was. I don't know the exact phrase. I could pull it up and, make more sense. And his buddy's sitting on the couch. He's like, man, fuck, bro, you don't have money to not do shit. He's like, my cousin, he sits on the couch, plays games, happy as shit, don't do shit, don't make no money, whatever the fuck he said. It was hilarious. And I know I'm fucking the quote up because I haven't watched the movie in a long time and I haven't destroyed a printer in a long time. So, but I don't know, just don't get complacent.
Yeah, you didn't need money to be happy.
You don't. I mean, I guess I kind of talked about that in the beginning. Doesn't make me happy. Just allows me to buy shit, buy more ammo.
Cool. That's all.
The biggest obstacles early in real estate days was trying to find buyers and sellers. So what I did was I would do open houses every weekend until I had a pipeline. Every weekend. Like, that was rain, snow, sleet, hail, whatever. I did open houses every freaking weekend until I had a pipeline. And the obstacle behind it, I was drinking back then. I've been sober now for over 5 years. So when you drink and do an open house, the next morning when you show up, man, you're hungover. It's not fun. It is not fun at all. But the obstacles, they weren't super hard to overcome only because I had a fuck it or walk mentality. You either fuck or you're gonna walk. And That's a phrase from, I think, Glenn Ross. Yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah,
just the opening scene. Just the opening scene. And I just refused to go through all of the classes, passing the test, because it took me so many fucking tries to pass that test. I just refused to fail. Failure was absolutely not an option. It was not an option. I had to do it. So I broke my hand, and I was driving, it was a Jetta at the time, stick shift. So I taught myself how to drive this fucking car with my left hand shifting.
That sounds fun.
I mean, I made it work, you know. I made it work. I learned how to kind of write left-handed. I even taught myself how to throw left-handed so I could keep playing with my kids.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, after breaking the son of a bitch. But you know, you do dumb shit when you're drunk. So there's a reason why, you know, in some of the podcasts I talk about how much I hate alcohol and what it does. So you don't necessarily not understand the consequences while you drink. You just stop giving a fuck. You're like, hey, let's go fuck some shit up. And you know that by fucking some shit up, you can get arrested or what have you. You just stop giving a fuck. So you go and you do it anyway. You know? So, one of my, and I don't want to get so far off topic, but I think it was New Year's, this past New Year's, where one of my sister's friends decided he was going to jump a fucking bonfire on his snowmobile at like 1 a.m. Okay? And when we're talking about a bonfire in northern Minnesota, we're talking about a massive ditch. And the way it was described to me is they're jumping this motherfucker. It's the size of a house. But like it's dug out, right? But the flames are up. So I guess apparently he hits this jump and like mid-flight, here's the pit, he's over it, and he just motherfucking drops, bam, dead in the fucking middle of this bitch. So of course your friends at first that think it's so fucking funny that you're jumping this shit already in your underwear in sub-zero weather, okay? Us men drinking, doing dumb shit, right? So yeah, funny until you come out with like, I don't know, 10 fucking degree burns or 10th degree burn. I don't know what the fuck it is. But your skin fucking melting off. It's probably not as funny anymore.
Oh no.
So he did end up in ICU. I think he did make it through. I actually have to follow up with my mom because this is like 8 fucking months ago at this point when this happened. But yeah, I mean, you do dumb shit in the beginning. And part of the, let me get back to obstacles. Some of the obstacles is, I remember when I would first write a contract, it would take me like 2 fucking hours to write a contract. Then I had to send it off to my broker, who may or may not be available at the time, and wait for him to say, hey, that was good, or hey, you fucked up here, 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 and here, and, you know, fix that, and then send it, okay? Well, back then, it was a buyer's market, so it wasn't super, super important to get those contracts in right away, or those offers in right away. So you had time, which was great. Well, the last couple of years, if you needed to write a contract and you had to wait a couple of hours, it's for your broker to get back to you and say, hey, your contract's good or it's fucked up, let's make these changes. Man, you might lose that offer because you're waiting on somebody to help you.
Damn.
Yeah, but now I can write an offer in like 4 or 5 minutes. And I don't use templates. There's agents out there that have templates created for every fucking thing. I write it from scratch every fucking time. And I have it done in 5 to 7 minutes.
How did you get, what was your solution to that? Like from 2 hours to 5 minutes, that's a huge jump.
Repetition. Repetition. Repetition, repetition. The only way you get good in this business is through repetition. You have to. So it's, you know, you can go into a classroom and you can learn all this shit, but you'll never learn how to sell real estate from a book. You won't. And to be fair, there's not a whole lot of sales involved in real estate. The selling actually happens between agents and negotiation, in my opinion. I haven't had to sell a client anything. They walk in and they know what they want. They get this fucking feeling. When they walk in, it's like, okay, they walk in, usually husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girl, whoever the fuck. They walk into a house and immediately they'll get this feeling almost right away that that's the fucking house that they want. Some people don't believe in it. It's real though.
What is
and
that?
I've even had clients that are like, Larry, I don't think so. And then when it happens, they're like, motherfucker, you were right. I'm like, I know. Not because I have an ego, but because there is this moment where when you walk into that perfect fucking house, you just know it's the one that you want. There isn't a look per se because each person's different in how they respond, but the same feeling happens.
Okay.
It's really weird, but it's cool to fucking experience because they both get this shit-eating grin on their face, and they just start doing like this almost telepathic conversation between the two of them, and it flows different, it feels different, and you tend to just know like, all right, this house is what we're gonna offer. Maybe that only happens to me and my clients, I don't know, but it's one of those weird things. People choose the house. It's almost like the people choose the house and the house also chooses them. You know, as an agent, you don't say, hey, look, I found this perfect house for you because it checks every box that you have. Sometimes that works, but then those people end up selling that house later. The ones that really fall in love with the house in the way that I just described, they stay in that house. I got tagged on one recently. They've been in the house for 6 years. And they tagged me, thanking me again. It was the perfect house for them.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really wild. And watching them experience that to me is a feeling greater than even sitting down at the closing table and getting paid. And that's the culmination of your work. Is that day where you're sitting down and you sign as an agent that one piece of paper and throw your pen and you're done. The culmination of that is the closing. But that feeling, that pure emotion that they have when they find the right house, it's almost not describable, but they feel it. Okay? They feel it. And they feel it together. And that is the coolest fucking thing you could see. It's amazing. That's a good question because I really don't market myself much. I do buy leads. And there's agents out there that don't. They're absolutely against buying leads. The reason that I don't market myself.
There, pause 1 second. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you market yourself, and what are some tactics new agents can use?
So I really don't market myself very much, and I've caught a little bit of scrutiny for that because I don't like to door knock. I don't like to send out flyers. I don't like to me it seems disingenuous, and anybody could send out flyers, anybody could send out marketing material. It's just not who I am. I do purchase leads. There's agents that I'm good friends with that don't like that idea, and that's fine. They have things that work for them. I have things that work for me. I'm actually very introverted and very shy. So I don't like to just walk up and meet people. My dad, completely different. My dad will talk to everybody, anywhere, anytime, any place, doesn't fucking matter. That's what my dad will do. I am not that way. If I go to a club, I'm gonna hold that wall up so fucking good. I'm so fucking good at holding up the wall. Like, you motherfuckers would be super proud of me because I will hold that bitch so tight. I'm just not really that type of people person, but I don't really market myself like that. I don't, because I don't really care that much to be out there in the spotlight. Like, this for me is so much fun. I could talk about this could talk about this almost never ending, because if there is any audience, if anybody does actually watch this shit, I'm speaking to them directly, but I'm not. So it's not like me giving a speech in front of 100 or 200 or 300 people like my daughter can do, and she can maintain her composure. If I had to do that, I'd fucking fall apart. I'm not a people person like that. So when it comes to marketing myself, I mean, fuck, we did a Halloween event last year. And to be completely fucking honest, I was terrified of that shit. Because even though they're my clients and friends and whatever, it's just not me to do it, you know? And I know you have to do things. It was an appreciation thing. I wasn't trying to get additional clients. I know that the whole point of everybody offering food at these places and saying, hey, come here, bring all your friends, your family, your everybody, because they want to poach more clients, and that's fine. That's fine, do that. I legitimately did that last year because I wanted to give back to people I cared about that used me. I don't need you to send me more people. If you want to do that later, fine. But that's not the point. I wanted to say thank you. You know, it wasn't a marketing ploy. It wasn't some shitty tactic that people use. No fucking gimmicks behind it. It was just, hey, I want you to come here, enjoy yourself. And the majority of people that showed up didn't even fucking see me. That was intentional though. That was intentional though, because I don't want to ever be the center of attention.
Okay.
I don't want to be the center of attention. I want them to feel appreciated. I don't want them to sit there and have to come and be like, oh, thank you, Larry. Thank you for doing this. No. Thank you for choosing me and trusting me with the biggest fucking decision you've ever made in your fucking life. Thank you. I don't need to be here going, hey, thanks for coming. Who you got? You got any other people? Because that's what the fuck it feels like at other things. I'm not like that. Fuck that.
Why was it terrifying?
Because it's not really who I am. It's not really who I am. I mean, I had to kind of be pushed to do it. And the idea actually came from one of my other agents. I believe it was Rebecca, who wanted to do it. And she couldn't be there because she got COVID. So I would have loved for her to fucking spitting all over the place.
Okay.
I would have loved for her to be there. For her to be able to interact and her clients and stuff like that. Like that, you know, it was, I believe if I'm remembering correctly, it was her idea. I wanted to do something for everyone, and we had talked about it, and I think that she had come up with the idea. Jesus and I kind of came up with the idea to get the venue and set it up the way that we did, but the reason it terrifies me is because I never want to let people down. So if it's not perfect, if it's not everything that everybody wants, like, I don't know, it's weird. I have that weird thing where I don't want to let anybody down. I also don't want to be the center of attention. I don't fucking like, it's weird to me. It's just weird to me. It's an awkward feeling. Again, being an introvert, I don't like it. Don't like it. Like, I'd rather go sit in my fucking car and watch people. You know, like, hey, it looks like they're having a good time. You know?
Dude, that's the word I get. Yeah, I think we got a lot in common. I'm going to cut right there.
All right.
If you are what you say